Graeme, this is moving around at some rate of knots. What have we got here?
Yeah, this is the new Chiron Mill 2000. This is now what they call the dynamic mill package. And the Mill 2000 is one of the most popular Chiron machines we sell in for structural components in automotive and aerospace.
Why is it so popular?
I think because of the versatility of the B-axis head, the special gap bed design that Chiron have developed here as well gives us great capability for a lot of structural components.
What do you mean gap bed?
The gap bed is where we've got no table. The standard machine used to have a standard table. Now we've developed this as a dynamic mill gap bed, so we've got 4-axis both ends, and then we can have a hydraulic fixture supported in fresh air, which effectively allows us to do parts on both sides of the fixture if necessary.
So they're both axes, there's not one side that's a support as a tailstop, it's both fully...
There is two options there. We can have it driven at both ends, or we can have a slave at one end as well.
Is this a linear motor machine?
No, this is not a linear motion, it's still ball screw driven on here, but what Chiron have done to get the speed up again from the standard 60 metre machine, this has now moved to 75 metres by actually taking a lot of work and redesigning the column to be able to get higher inertia, 2G acceleration in the Z and 1.7 in X.
That was going to be my next question, because 75 metres a minute is fast, but how quick can you get there? You're saying 2G?
2G in the Z axis. Chiron tend to work on their G acceleration rates in the Z axis because most of it is all tool, in and out and cutting processes, so the Z is very important to Chiron's design.
What's the tool changer on this? What's the tool mount?
But normally, Chiron it's sub 2 seconds, 1.9 seconds.
But what tools are there? Is it HSK?
HSK 63 on this machine. Chiron don't offer a HSK 100 option on these machines, but predominantly we do a lot of aluminium work on these machines, and that's what it's been designed around.
So the machine's fast in terms of its axes. What about the spindle?
The spindle we can have up to 20,000 RPM on here. So the standard would be 12, 15 and 20,000. So there's several options depending on what we need to do.
And is this one of many models within the range? Do they go bigger, smaller, or is it just one?
Absolutely. The mill range from Chiron starts at 800, 1250 up to 8 metres in the X-axis. So it's a very, very flexible tool that they've developed for normally quite long, thin parts. But the great thing about this new design on the column, we were limited to 620 in the Y. We now can go out to 840. So it's a big, big difference there on our Y-axis capability.
So you can go up to 840 millimetres on the Y-axis?
Yeah. Basically because we've been able to take a lot of work out of the column, we can now travel further over and be able to get over wider parts.
How new is this machine or this model?
It's been launched in the last 6 months. This is the first time it's been seen on a show, and we're very proud to be able to have it here at AMB.
Yeah, and you say it's one of your most popular sellers. Where are you selling these machines, Graeme?
Ideally into airframe manufacturers. We do a lot of rib work on these style of machines. The same as structural components. So the Mill 2000 and 3000 range, we've got heavily into people making structural parts into the UK automotive chain.
And a lot of those might be aluminium, but if somebody was saying, well, can you tackle more challenging materials, this okay for that?
Yeah, I think there would be limitations within that. I mean, we are doing a lot of SG iron type work as well. Whether we'd go into the titanium end of that market, we'd have to come up with another cutting process strategy. But as most of the companies we're talking to, everybody's looking for lighter components to go into vehicles and aircraft. That's the sort of type of market that we've looked at.
And it's potentially smaller depths of cut, but much, much faster. That's the future.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that is the way forward. And certainly, as you can see on these difficult components here on structural parts for automotive, a lot of it is getting to apertures, difficult angles and everything else. This machine with the B-axis head gives us great flexibility to get around those parts.
Very impressive. Thanks, Graeme.
Thank you. Cheers.